What's going on, guys? Apauzy here, bringing you a brand new video in what feels like an eternity. Now, as you can tell by the title, the point of the video is to teach you how to get a double-digit kill win in Fortnite. Now, a problem that a lot of people have are getting high kill games, and it's nothing to be ashamed of. You just need these little tips that I'm going to give you and just a little practice. You'll be getting high kill games in no time. So the first tip I could give you is to always land where you're comfortable at. You know, a lot of videos that you watch, they might say to land tilted, but if you're not comfortable in tilted, you're definitely not making out of tilted alive. So, you know, wherever you're comfortable at, whether it's Lazy Links, Paradise, my spot is Salty Springs. I land there in tournaments, I land there when I stream. It's just a spot that I feel comfortable. I know it off the back of my hand. I can tell you every loot spawn. So just land where you're comfortable. And as you can see, we have a 100-person lobby. And the reason why that's good is because we have the maximum amount of engagements that we could possibly get. So, you know, if you're in a 90-person lobby, that's possibly 10 kills or 10 engagements that you might miss out on. So that's always a good start. Now here, you're gonna see that when I land, I kind of messed up my landing, but that's because I was on my phone. But usually, if you're comfortable at a spot, you're obviously gonna know how to land there. But since I was looking at my phone, we had to go to Treehouse, grab a gun, and then go to the house that I usually land at. So you're gonna see me open the door, pick up the pump shotgun, and then run my way over to the brick house. And the reason why I like landing at that brick house, particularly in Salty, is because you can overlook Salty. Especially when you land there, you could see where other people land at. You could just you have a nice field of view. Now here, I do hear somebody in the house. I know somebody's here. I didn't know where he was at until he shot. And so we just played our positioning, our right shoulder peek on the doors, and we did our shot first. You could see we go down to 7 health. That was almost a terrible situation that we were in. We made it out. And that's another thing, you want to be confident in your shot. You know, you don't want to go into engagements with no confidence, because then, you know, it's a good Fortnite player is going to see that you don't have confidence, or that you're a slow player, or you're playing a little too passive. So you always want to be confident in your shot. You know, like here I have 7 health. You're gonna see me challenge somebody and get into an engagement with 7 health, because at this point it's like, you know, there's no bandages in this house. I need some type of way to heal up, and the only way is to either kill everyone in Salty or just kill somebody who has heals. So you're gonna see, I see him out the corner of my eye. He's by the tree. I try to get some shots off. I hit him for 31. Right, 31 white health, more 31s. So I know he's pretty low. He's probably sitting around 40 health. So he's just shooting our structure. You know, we're ramp walling. You hit him for another 31. That's 331. So I know he's on like 5-10 health. So we throw the stink bomb, and clearly we get the kill. Now that's just good, just a good play in general. You know, we didn't expose ourselves too much, and we kind of timed our shots, so when he was reloading, we shot back at him, or when he was ready to go back and peek, we were just shooting. So here we find 3 minis, which helps a little bit, because, you know, it gives us more than 7 health, obviously. So we're not 1-shot anymore, we're just 2-shot. So we find some bandages, which is perfect. We're gonna use these bandages and get up to 75 health. Now I do hear an engagement going on to my right, so we're gonna keep that in mind. Right, so after we're done using the bandages, the first thing I'm thinking is I'm pushing that engagement. I need the kills. So right, we're looking for where they're at. We see them building, see them shooting. I pull out my sniper to get a pick on the drift. We hit our shots, hit him for 62 headshot. Now I know he was fighting somebody else, so I'm gonna go try and take high ground and listen to where the other person is. So I hear him to the side of the house. He shoots an RPG. We hit our shotgun shot, and we switch to the SMG. Now, pump SMG is a really good meta right now, especially for the state that the game is in. You know, you hit your pump shot, you do a lot of damage, about 80 damage. If you hit headshots, then even more. And then you just switch to the SMG to finish them off. It's probably the fastest way to kill somebody. Definitely better than just spraying and praying and barrel stuffing. Which you can do that too, but I don't prefer it, and it's just how I play. So in that previous engagement, I heard him to the side of the house, and this brings me to like the next piece of advice I could give you. If you can, always have, like, not always have, you should have a good headset. You should have a headset that's able to distinguish from left and right. Me, I have Astros, but Astros are expensive, and I know some people aren't fortunate enough to get an expensive headset like that. But I've seen headsets at GameStop. You know, I know Turtle Beach, they do have cheap lines of headsets that you could just distinguish left and right from. You know, my friend on Amazon, he got a headset for $20, a gaming headset for $20. He could distinguish left from right. And if you could play on a monitor, that's cool, but you don't have to. You know, whatever you're comfortable on. If you're comfortable playing on a TV, if you're used to it, then do you. You don't have to go out and buy a monitor, but monitors definitely do help with your gameplay. And as you can see, we're looking at the map, and it's because we're checking the storm line. Now, the reason why we're checking the storm line is because a lot of people, if they land outside of the safe zone, they're gonna have to come in. So it's better to pick people off from the safe zone coming in, because it's just an easy kill. They're probably tagged up from the storm. And we saw some building about east, and we're gonna go to that in a second. We're gonna just pick up this blue assault rifle that I saw, right? Pick up the blue assault rifle, get our ammo, and we're just gonna make our way over to those two houses, because we saw some building there. We just want to see if anyone's there. It's along the circle, and I hear somebody up here, right? I pull out my shotgun and I play around. Didn't hit my first shotgun shot, but we hit him with the SMG a few times to get him one shot, and then we pull up the shotgun, hit the second shotgun shot. The RPG, I like the RPG because when you're pushing somebody solo, they start to panic. You're about to see this guy panic right here, right? We get our high ground, tag him with the RPG, and he turns our back towards us, which was a huge mistake. You never want to turn your back towards somebody in a gunfight, because it signals that you're on low health, or that you're just not confident in killing the other person. So we're making sure all our guns are reloaded, making sure our RPG is reloaded. Right, we're gonna go back to that kid with the slurp juice, and we're gonna drink it. Now, I would have picked up the slurp juice earlier, but the way you want to play in these, if you're going for high kill games, you want to play aggressive. That's just how you have to play. You know, sometimes you gotta say, you know what, forget the loot. I'm going for a high kill game. I'll get the loot once I'm done killing all these people. And that's how you just have to play. You can't play passive, because then you're gonna miss out on opportunities. Possibly somebody else is gonna take your kill. So you see, we're gonna use the Porter Rift, or the Rift to Go. And the way we're gonna use it is because since it takes an inventory slot, we're gonna use it, go back down, pick back up our RPG, and since the Porter Rift does last for 10 seconds, we're just gonna get right back in it. And we're gonna try to scope out the area. You can see we're looking towards Dusty, we're looking towards Fatal. Definitely gonna look towards Salty, because people might be drawn to Salty because there's build there since the fights that I had over there. And Unfortunately, we don't see anybody, but you know, we're still gonna keep on looking, right? We're gonna land back to where we started at Salty, and we're just gonna go from there. Since Salty is kind of like the main point of the circle, it's kind of in the middle. A lot of people are gonna want to see what's going on over there. So get on top of this one-story house. We just look over the hills. We don't see anything, and then in the corner of my eye, I spot the guy building towards like south 166, and we're just gonna kind of play him sneaky. We're not gonna shoot right away. We're gonna make sure we have a good angle to shoot at, and hopefully he doesn't see us while we're running behind him, right? So we're kind of just, he's moving to the right, so we move to the left, so we're towards his back, and we get a clear shot, and I laser him with the scar. Easy kill. We already have 7, there's 12 people left. Now, if you're at like 6 kills and above, and there's still 20 people left in the game, don't lose hope that you're not going to get 10 kills, because most of your kills are going to come from the end of the game. Because that's when people aren't going to be engaging each other as much, they're going to be playing passive. So most of your kills are going to come from the end game. Right, we see that kid up top of that mountain. We're going to take note that he's there. And that's part of being a good player. You don't want to, you just want to take note of where people are at. You don't want to not know where your enemy is, right? So we see somebody challenging him with the rift, right? We heard someone take a rift. We see him challenging that player up top of that mountain. So what we're going to do is we're going to use the other rift that's over there, where the tiki is usually at, and we're going to go challenge that engagement, right? We have our RPG, we have our scar, we have a perfect setup. Now, for a setup, you always want to carry at least 1 heal. As you can see, we use the bounce pad to kind of get to the rift quicker. But you always want to have 1 heal, a sniper or RPG, and obviously your shotgun, your SMG, your AR. Probably the most efficient. So we hop in the rift. We're gonna go to where those kids are fighting at. We see that one of them died, the other kid is picking up the loot, so we're gonna get in his 1x1 that he built. We're gonna take our high ground. We see he has an RPG in hand. We're both gonna shoot our RPG kind of at the same time to make sure each other's build. Now, this person is gonna make a huge mistake. He starts building towards my line of sight, and we just barrel stuff him. He tries to put walls down so he could get, so he could kind of like stop me from shooting him, but it just didn't work. We're gonna get shot at, so we just quick reaction, put some build down, shoot the kid with the RPG, and just try and retake high ground again, which we end up doing perfectly. Drop down. We missed our first shot, but definitely, it's definitely not a problem if we miss our first shot. We have the SMG to back us up. SMGs are really good in this game anyway. Right? Drink our minis. We're gonna drink the slurp juice, so we could get up to 100 health and 100 shield. Now, we already have 9 kills. At this point, I'm thinking I'm already guaranteed 10. Like you have to think to yourself, like, I know I'm gonna win this game. There's only 5 other people besides me left. I know I'm gonna win this game for sure. I'm better than all these kids in the lobby. You don't want to have the mindset of that, you know, maybe I'll win, maybe I won't. You have to be more confident than all the other players around you, which is, it's a good thing. And right, we're just going towards the edge of the mountain so we can see if there's anybody left. We're already aware that there's only 4 people, so they're either running to the storm or they're already in the storm fighting. Right, we don't see anybody, so we get down the mountain, and we're just gonna go into the circle, and that should be where the rest of the players are at. Now, a couple tips from here on out. Like, as for settings and sensitivity and stuff, if you're a console player, you don't want to play on a high sensitivity. The reason why is because if you play on a high sensitivity, yes, you build faster, but you do sacrifice your shot. So if you're playing on a 10, there's chances are that your shot is actually pretty terrible, and you don't want that in this game. You want to be able to have a good balance between building and shooting. Uh, Nick Merckx plays on a 6.6. I play on a 5.5. My friend, he's really good. He plays on a 7.7. So anything above an 8 is pretty much detrimental to you. You know, you're kind of just hurting yourself if you're playing on a high sensitivity. And besides that, you know, obviously, like I said, you want to have monitors, you want to have a headset. I have a SCUF controller. You don't need one. I know people that are way better than me. They probably don't play with a SCUF. But if you do have one, then it's a big advantage. You know, you don't have to take your thumb off of the stick to jump or to do other things. So we're just looking. I'm gonna try and get on top of this mountain. And the reason why I say try is because I actually had a difficult time getting on top because I was about to fall down, so I just started panic building. You can see right there. And we're gonna look for other people. There's only 3 people left in the lobby. Found the battle pass star. And still looking around, don't see anybody. And we're gonna actually scope somebody out, like northwest to north, in between there. Because we see some build, and sure enough, they're fighting. We're going towards the fight, and we have the RPG in hand, we have our shotgun in hand, we have our SMG. We should be good going into the end game. We're gonna shoot our RPG again, put that pressure, because if we shoot the RPG, the person has no choice but to move away from it. It's gonna destroy the build, it's gonna destroy everything that they put down. So they're just gonna move away. You see that the other person has a grenade launcher, taking mental note of that. Make sure we don't get hit with it. And right here, you can see the other person, he's building for high ground. So we're not gonna let him do that. We're just gonna shoot his base down real quick and make sure he cannot get high ground at all. Right, just like that. He comes to our right. Missed our first pump shot, but he was already low from the fight that he was in anyway, so we just tag him with the SMG. Over here, I hear this person. I know I'm good to challenge, and this is what he's not gonna expect. He tried to put a pyramid down so he could stop me from gaining high ground. As soon as I seen that, I edited my stairs, because usually the tendencies of a person going for high ground is that they go to the side. So I just edited my stairs. He wasn't ready for that play, and we got our last kill. And that's how you get double-digit kills in Fortnite. Thank you guys for watching the video. See you in the next one. Peace.